Hi, most of you know me as the guy from Totally Naked Movie Reviews. Today I'd like to talk to you about my thoughts on a potential movie that's in the works. Now normally I don't talk about movies until after I've seen them, but sometimes I guess you could just say that the news is about a movie coming up is just so big, you gotta get out there and talk about it. And that's what we're gonna do today. Now what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about some studios putting out word that they want to remake Lord of the Flies, but this time with girls. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Lord of the Flies, it is a book about a bunch of school boys, English school boys, who get stranded on this deserted island. And while they're there, at first, they want to work together for the common good and survive. But eventually things fall to shit, and they start turning on one another. They start thinking there's a monster on the island, and half the boys split up into their own tribe. And this keeps going back and forth, and things just keep getting worse and worse until they start killing one another. And now, people want to make that with all girls. So my first thoughts on hearing a Lord of the Flies remake with all girls cast was, someone is trolling us. Someone is definitely trolling us with this. But then, I look into it and I find out, no, it's legit. Some studios want to remake Lord of the Flies, but this time with the all-girl cast, and it just... that just makes it funny. I mean, who the hell is this for, anyhow? And, it's like, I could just see how this came about. You had two studio execs hanging out together, and one's like, I just made the Emoji Movie. It's the worst movie ever made. The other one's like, oh yeah? Hold my beer. I just read Lord of the Flies, and I've been watching Lifetime. I got an idea! Yeah. Okay, so why do I find this so amusing? What I find amusing about this is someone's going to be pissed off about this. Like last year was Ghostbusters. They recast that with an all-female cast, and look how the shit hit the fan with that. Now they're going to do it with Lord of the Flies. But what I find amusing about this is who should be more pissed off about this? Misogynists and men's rights activists because they just gender changed a book about with an all-boy cast, or feminists and SJWs who are not going to like a faithful adaptation of Lord of the Flies with an all-girls cast. Anyway, like I said, I was just scrolling Twitter to see who was more pissed off, and at this point, nobody knows who should be more pissed off because we don't know exactly how the movie's going to play out. But I expect when we get down the lines, we'll see who's more pissed off. I just find the whole thing amusing. Like I said, who's going to be more pissed off? Well, let's start with the misogynists and the men's rights activists, the people who got pissed off because they recast Ghostbusters with an all-female cast. And they're pissed off just on account of it. Not like everyone else who's just pissed off because they thought it was a shitty reboot. Anyway, they're going to be pissed off. It's like, Lord of the Flies, they're not supposed to be any girls. It's all boys. Which I would find amusing that they would want to keep Lord of the Flies the way it is. Because if you ever read Lord of the Flies, or you ever studied it in school or college, it's probably one of the most anti-man, male, patriarch books you could ever read that wasn't written by a feminist or some stupid cuck. I mean, it's basically Golding, that's the author, said the idea that came to him was someone was talking like, well, what can you imagine if a bunch of little English boys got stranded on an island? Wouldn't they all work together and it just be everything would be all right? And Golding's like, no. They'd just be a bunch of little bastards to one another. And that's how the book plays out. And like a lot of people think it's a metaphor for society. Yeah, but even if it's a metaphor for society, and this would have been written in the 1940s, a lot of society is male dominated. And you see that in the book, with militarism and social wars and blah 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 blah. Anyway, like I said, it's very anti-man. It basically says, men are stupid and everything will go to shit eventually. And like I said, these misogynists want to keep it an all-boy cast. which just, like I said, just seems stupid. Anyway, back to the feminists and the SJWs. I think they're going to be pretty pissed about this because if it's very faithful to Lord of the Flies, that means you're going to have little girls on the island who turn against one another, and whatever they believe in, it all turns to shit. So I think they'll be pissed at that because they want to, they want more movies with women and more, like, I guess you could say, female-driven movies. But Lord of the Flies is just it just doesn't lend itself to what they want. If they do a faithful adaptation of that book, they want movies for little girls that show them good examples of how to be a woman and inspire them. But no, you're not going to get that with Lord of the Flies because, like I said, they're all going to be just horrible little bastards. So let's say, okay, well, instead of doing that, they show that the little girls, they work together and everything turns out all right. Well, then, once again, you get pissed off the misogynists and the men's rights activists. Like, oh, so you're saying girls can do it better? And I gotta say, I'd actually be in that camp if that's the case. Because, you can't have Lord of the Flies where everyone works together and everything turns out all right. That's not fucking Lord of the Flies. Lord of the Flies is the exact opposite of that. If you want to make a movie where you switch out the gender cast and it's about, a struggle to survive and how people work together, and you want to do that with all women, then do an all-women cast of, Flight of the Phoenix. Not Lord of the fucking Flies. Don't ruin Lord of the fucking Flies by having the girls, all get along and just sit around the campfire singing songs and, fingering one another's vaginas. We already had that with the fucking Power Rangers movie. You don't need to see that shit again. And I guess that's all I really have to express. I'm probably going to buy a ticket to this film. I'm going to keep up with it because I want to see where this train wreck is going. And that's all I got to say.